Welcome to TKLMS Academy. My name is Adeboye. We're going to continue solving questions on quadratic equations using graphical method. Now let's look at the next question. Draw the graph of 4x squared minus 20x plus 25 equals 0 to find the roots of the equation. So we're going to draw the graph. We're going to find the root of the equation. So the first thing is we're going to replace the 0 with y so that we'll be aware that we are working under two coordinates, that is the x coordinates and then the y coordinates. The next step is to make a table to find the values of y while we vary the values of x from a negative value or from 0 to a positive value. So in this case, we've decided to run our values of x from 0 to 5. Now, it's not a bad idea if you run it from a negative value to a positive value. Then, the next thing is you consider what the equation is. The equation is 4x squared minus 20x plus 25 equals to y. So, what you're going to do is that you're going to arrange those terms in this table. Now, you have 4x squared is what you have here, negative 20x is what you have here, and then positive 25 is what you have here. And finally, on the last row, we have y. So y is going to include addition of all the values. Okay, so let's go about doing that. Now let's move on. Step 3, fill up the spaces. Now on the second row, replace the x with values of 0, 1, 2, and so on, then square each and multiply by 4. Now I'm going to explain this shortly. B says that on the third row, where the term is negative 20x, replace the x with the values of 0, 1, 2, and so on, then multiply by negative 20. Okay, just as you have here. Then on the fourth row, where the term is positive 25, write positive 25 all through the row, and then we sum. Okay, so let's see how this step are carried out. Now, when the value of x is 0, what we do is 4x, we're going to replace the x with 0 squared, and that's going to give us 0 because 0 squared is 0, then 0 multiplied by 4 is 0. Likewise, when you have the value of x as 2, that's 2 squared. Okay, that's going to give us 4 multiplied by 4 because 2 squared is 4. So that's how we have that. Then 4 multiplied by 4, that gives us 16. Okay, when our value of x is 5, we have 4 to bracket 5 squared. So we've replaced the x with 5. 5 squared is 25, and 25 times 4, that gives us 100. That is how we complete the second row. Now for the third row, where we have x as 0, that is negative 20 multiplied by 0, that's going to give us 0. That's what you have here. Then still on the third row, let's say that the value of x is 2. So negative 20 multiplied by 2, that is going to give negative 40, and so on and so forth. Then positive 25 is going to remain positive 25 across the row. It will not change. Now to get the value of y, what we need to do is to add all of this. Now forget about this negative that is here. Just concentrate on this. So 0 plus 0 plus 25, you have 25. 4 plus negative 20 plus 25, you're going to have 9. 16 minus 40 plus 25, you're going to have 1. 36 plus negative 60 plus 25, you're going to have 1. So that's how you do for everything. You keep on adding it. Now step 5, match the value of x with y from the table and mark it on the graph. Now what does this mean? it means that when x is 0, y is 25. When x is 1, y is 9. When x is 2, y is 1. I want to also tell you something here, that watch the values of x and y. That is part of what will help you determine what your graph will look like. Consider the values of x, 0 to 5, okay, in this particular case. So most likely you would want to draw a graph. You want to draw a graph that will run maybe from -1, okay, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. You can also extend it to 6. Now, when you consider the y-axis, consider the lowest number and then the biggest number. It will help you to determine what your gradation is going to look like. Now, the smallest number there is 1 and the biggest number there is 25. So, it may not be possible for you to go the way of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 25, or up to whatever your highest number is. It may be advisable to go in multiples of 5, let's say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, okay, something like this. And take note that they are all positive values. They are all positive values. So that makes sense. So you find that, okay, if you have 0 here, can have 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 25. Now I'm going to show you this on the graph shortly. So you can have it like this: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it makes more sense. Now in between 0 and 5, you will know that you have 5 values inside, or let me say 4 values. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Between 5 and 10, you have 6, 7, 8, 9. Between 10 and 15, you have 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on and so forth. So that's what it will look like. So, okay, let's say this is what our graph will look like, but we can change the value of, so instead of having 1 here, okay, we can have it as 5. Instead of having 2, can have it as 10, and so on and so forth. Now, in between 0 and 1, you will find out that there are many lines, okay. Most times 5 spaces and then 4 lines. So those 4 lines between 0 and 1, that will be between 0 and 5, that will be, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next thick line is 5. Then between 5 and 10, you have another 4 lines. Each of them, that will be 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is how you could decide to fix it. Now the next step is to trace or join the points. Now before we do this, so the thing is, like it's written here, when x is 0, y is 25. So what you're going to do is, on your graph, so let's say that when x is 0, y is 25. So we are taking our 5 as 25 here. So you put a mark there. Okay, when x is 1, y is 9. So when x is 1, y is 9. So we are taking our 9 to be somewhere close to 2. Somewhere close to 2. Okay, something like that. Okay, now when x is 2, y is 1. So when x is 2, here is 2 for x, y, we have y as 1. So we're going to have it as 2 and 1. So our 1 is going to be so close down. Okay, very close down. Now that's how you keep on putting your points until you use up all the values of x and y. Now let's look at the next thing. So we trace those points using a French curve, or use your free hand. It's better to use, yes, freehand sketching, or better you use a French curve, makes it neater. So this is what the graph is going to look like. As you can see, the graph is sitting on the x-axis. It's barely touching it. I mean, it's touching it. It goes down, touched it, and then rose again from it. So what does this mean? So note the point where the curve, not the point where the curve touched the x-axis. In this case, the curve touched the x-axis at 2.5. So it's more like saying that it touched it twice. That is, going down, it touched it once, and then it moved from that same point, goes up again. That's the second time. So hence, the solution to the quadratic equation using the graphical method is x equals to 2.5 twice. So here we have it. I hope this is really helpful. Now, we would love you to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification icon button. With this, you will be able to be notified when we drop new videos on other topics. Bye for now.